I paid $45,000 for my daughter's wedding, and she said, "Dad, don't come to the rehearsal dinner the night my daughter told me not to come to her rehearsal dinner." I was holding the final check for $45,000, standing in my kitchen in Denver, Colorado, looking at that piece of paper that represented everything I'd saved for her dream wedding. My name is Carl Henderson. I'm 58 years old, and I thought I was doing right by my family. Let me back up a bit. I'm a retired construction engineer, spent 30 years building things that last. Did my time in the Army before that, learned discipline and honor. Values I thought I'd passed on to my daughter. My wife, Linda, passed 3 years ago from cancer, and since then it's just been me and Michelle, at least. That's what I thought. Michelle had been planning this wedding for 2 years. Every weekend, she'd come over with those glossy magazines, pointing at flowers and dresses that cost more than my first car. "Dad, this is what Mom would have wanted," she'd say. And she was right. Linda would have loved seeing our daughter walk down that aisle. So I paid. The venue at Mountain View Gardens, $15,000. The catering for 150 people, $18,000. The photographer, the flowers, the band, the dress, it all added up. Every time Michelle called with another small addition, I said yes. That's what fathers do, right? But looking back now, I realize the pattern started way before the wedding. 3 years ago, right after Linda died, Michelle started having emergencies. First, it was the condo down payment, $12,000. "Dad, this is such a great opportunity, and the market's so competitive. We'll pay you back when Brian's business takes off." Brian, my soon-to-be son-in-law. Smooth talker, always had an explanation for why his latest venture just needed a little more time, a little more capital. 6 months after the condo, their credit cards were maxed out. Christmas shopping, they said, emergency car repairs, medical bills. Another $8,000. Then came Brian's big business idea. Some kind of consulting firm that was going to revolutionize something or other. I never really understood what he was selling, but Michelle was so excited. "Dad, this could set us up for life. Brian just needs $10,000 to get started properly." I wrote the check. Of course I did. That's what you do when your daughter looks at you with those hopeful eyes, the same ones she had when she was 8 and wanted a bicycle for Christmas. The business never got off the ground. Brian had excuses. The market wasn't right, his partner backed out, the economy was tough. But there was always another opportunity around the corner. Always another reason they needed help. Then came the wedding planning. "Dad, I know it's expensive, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Mom would have wanted me to have the perfect day. How do you argue with that? How do you tell your daughter that her dead mother wouldn't have wanted you to go broke paying for a party?" The final payment was due that Friday morning. I'd just deposited the check when I called Michelle to confirm everything was set. "Hey, sweetheart, the payment went through. You're all set for Saturday." "Oh, thanks, Dad," she said. There was music in the background, laughter, the sound of people having a good time. "That's great. So what time do you need me there tomorrow night?" I asked. "For the rehearsal dinner. I can come early if you want help setting up." Silence. Long enough that I thought the call might have dropped. "Michelle? You still there?" Then a different voice cut in. Brian, smooth as always, like he'd rehearsed this conversation. "Hey Carl, actually the rehearsal dinner is just for immediate family and the wedding party. You know, keeping it small and intimate." I felt something cold settle in my stomach. I switched the phone to my other ear, buying time to process what I'd just heard. "I am immediate family, Brian. I'm her father." "Right, right," he said, using that patient tone people use when they think you're not getting something obvious. "But it's really just the people who are in the ceremony. Michelle's bridesmaids, my groomsmen, the parents who are walking us down the aisle." The parents who are walking us down the aisle. But I was walking her down the aisle. I was the one giving her away. I'd been practicing that walk in my head for months, imagining Linda watching from wherever she was, proud of the daughter we'd raised together. "I'm walking Michelle down the aisle," I said, my voice coming out quieter than I intended. "Actually," Brian said, and I could hear Michelle whispering something in the background, urgent and low. "We decided my dad and her Aunt Patricia will do it together. You know, since Linda isn't here, it feels more balanced that way." Those words hit me like a sledgehammer to the chest. Aunt Patricia? Linda's sister who lived in Seattle and saw Michelle maybe twice a year, usually at Christmas and maybe a birthday if we were lucky. She was walking my daughter down the aisle. Not me. The kitchen suddenly felt too small, too quiet, too full of memories of Linda and me planning Michelle's future, talking about the day we'd watch her get married. "Michelle," I said, my throat feeling tight. "Is that true?" She came back on the line, her voice small and defensive. "Dad, it's just Brian's family is really traditional, and they thought it would be nice if what?" I interrupted. "If the man who raised you, who paid for your entire wedding, wasn't the one to give you away." "It's not like that," she said quickly. "It's just, since Mom isn't here to walk with you, it feels weird having just one parent when Brian has both of his. Aunt Patricia makes it even like I was some kind of mathematical equation that needed balancing, Dad," she said when I didn't respond. "Are you still there?" "Yeah, I managed. I'm here. You understand, right? It's not personal. This is our day, and we want it to be perfect. Our day. The day I'd been dreaming about since she was born. The day I'd liquidated part of my retirement fund to pay for. The day that was supposed to honor Linda's memory and celebrate the daughter we'd raised together." "Sure," I said, though the word felt like gravel in my throat. "I understand. Great, so we'll see you Saturday at the ceremony. 2 o'clock sharp." "Oh, and Dad, thank you so much for everything. We really couldn't have done this without you." The line went dead. I stood there holding a silent phone, looking at that check on the counter. $45,000. That wasn't even counting everything else I'd given them over the past 3 years. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. I sat in Linda's old reading chair, the one with the faded blue cushion she'd embroidered with little flowers, and started thinking about numbers. Real numbers. The $12,000 for the condo down payment when they couldn't qualify for conventional financing. The $8,000 when their credit cards maxed out during their unexpected rough patch. The $10,000 for Brian's consulting business that was going to revolutionize client relations but somehow never gained a single client. And that was just the big stuff. There were dozens of smaller amounts. $500 for car repairs, $1,200 for medical bills, $800 for Christmas presents they couldn't afford. $20,100 for what Michelle called a surprise tax bill that probably never existed. By dawn, I'd done the math 3 times, hoping I was wrong. $75,000. In 3 years, I'd given my daughter and her fiancé $75,000, more than I'd made in my final 2 years of teaching before I moved into construction. More than Linda and I had spent on our entire first house. And for what? To be excluded from her rehearsal dinner, like some distant relative who might say the wrong thing or embarrass them in front of Brian's traditional family. That's when something broke inside me. Not dramatically, not with anger or tears, but quietly. Like an old rope that's been fraying for years finally reaching its last thread. I made coffee, Linda's blend, the one I'd kept buying even though it was too strong for just me, and started making phone calls. "First National, this is Kevin. How can I help you?" "Hi Kevin, this is Carl Henderson. I need to remove someone from my joint checking account." There was the sound of typing. "Sure thing, Mr. Henderson." "Can I get the name of the person you're removing?" "My daughter." "Michelle Henderson. Okay, and are you wanting to remove her from all accounts where she's listed?" I thought about the emergency savings account I'd set up after Linda died, the one where I'd added Michelle's name just in case something happened to me. The one that was supposed to have $15,000 in it, but now showed a balance of $2,800. All of them, I said. I spent the next hour on the phone. The bank, my investment advisor, my credit card companies, every account where Michelle had access, every automatic transfer I'd set up to make her life easier. I closed them all when I finished. My hands were steady for the first time in 24 hours. The peace lasted until that afternoon when my phone rang. "Michelle?" "Dad, what did you do?" "The bank called me. They said you removed me from your accounts, all of them." "That's right. Why would you do that?" Her voice was rising, that particular tone she'd used as a teenager when she didn't get her way. "Because I'm not a bank, Michelle. I'm your father." "I don't understand what that's supposed to mean." I looked out my kitchen window at the garden Linda and I had planted together, at the apple tree we'd put in when Michelle graduated high school. We joked about grandchildren playing under it someday. "It means I'm done being treated like an ATM with a heartbeat." "That's not fair," she snapped. "We needed that money. Brian's business is just getting started, and we have expenses. So do I. You're retired. What expenses do you have? I almost laughed. The ignorance was breathtaking. I'm 58, Michelle, not dead. I have a mortgage, utilities, medical bills, car insurance. I eat food and buy gas and pay taxes. I have a life. You have plenty of money. You're just being petty because of the rehearsal dinner thing. The rehearsal dinner thing? I repeated slowly. You mean where you decided I wasn't important enough to be there, where you replaced me with Aunt Patricia for walking you down the aisle after I paid $45,000 for your wedding. It's not about importance, it's about balance. It's about what looks right. Brian's family has certain expectations. I've given you $75,000 in 3 years, Michelle. $75,000. That's not expectations. That's exploitation. Silence on the other end. I could hear Brian's voice in the background, urgent and low, but couldn't make out the words. You're wrong, she said finally. It can't be that much. I have the records, every check, every transfer. Want me to send you the spreadsheet? More silence. Then Michelle's voice again, smaller now, uncertain. The wedding is paid for, right? You're not going to cancel anything. Every penny is paid. You'll have your perfect day. What about the honeymoon? Her voice shifted, became softer, more pleading. The tone she'd used when she was little and wanted something badly. We were counting on you to help with that too. We already booked the flights to Hawaii, the hotel. We can't afford to cancel now. And there it was, the real reason for the call. Not to understand why I'd cut off access, not to apologize for excluding me from the rehearsal dinner or replacing me with Aunt Patricia. She was worried about the money pipeline. You're 28 years old with a college degree, Michelle. You'll figure it out, Dad. Please don't do this. You need to learn the difference between want and need. Her voice turned cold, sharp. If you do this, if you cut us off completely, you're going to regret it. Something in her tone made my skin crawl. This wasn't my daughter anymore. This was someone I didn't recognize, someone calculating and hard. Is that a threat, Michelle? It's a fact. We'll handle this our way. The line went dead. I stood there looking at my phone, waiting for the fear to come, the panic, the urge to call her back and smooth things over. But it didn't come. Instead, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Relief. 3 days passed quietly. I worked in the garage, organizing tools I hadn't touched since Linda got sick. Fixed the loose board on the back deck that had been bothering me for months. Normal things. Things that made me feel like myself again. Thursday morning, the doorbell rang. I opened it to find a man in his 40s, expensive suit, leather briefcase, the kind of polished smile that doesn't reach the eyes. Carl Henderson? Yes. He reached into his briefcase and pulled out a manila envelope. You've been served? My stomach dropped, but I kept my voice steady. Served with what? A lawsuit. Your daughter and her fiancé are suing you for breach of oral contract and promissory estoppel. Have a good day, sir. He walked away, leaving me standing in my doorway holding an envelope like it was contaminated. A lawsuit. My own daughter was suing me. I went inside, closed the door, locked it, and sat at the kitchen table where Linda and I used to pay bills together every month. My hands shook as I opened the envelope. Complaint for breach of contract. Plaintiffs, Michelle Henderson and Brian Collins. Defendant, Carl Henderson. I scanned the legal language, my vision blurring with anger and disbelief. The defendant made repeated verbal promises to provide financial support for plaintiff's wedding and honeymoon expenses. Plaintiffs relied on these promises in good faith, making commitments they cannot now fulfill. The defendant willfully and maliciously withdrew promised support. Amount sought, $25,000 for honeymoon expenses, plus damages for emotional distress and breach of trust. They weren't just asking for honeymoon money. They were asking for damages. They were asking me to pay them for the emotional distress of me finally saying no. I read it 3 times before the words started to make sense. Then I picked up the phone. Martinez Law Office. This is Susan. Hi. This is Carl Henderson. I was referred by Tom Williams. I need a lawyer. My daughter is suing me. 2 hours later, I was sitting across from Susan Martinez in her downtown office. She was maybe 50 sharp eyes behind reading glasses, the kind of calm presence that made you feel like maybe things would be okay. She read through the complaint, making notes with a gold pen, her expression never changing. When she finished, she looked up at me. Mr. Henderson, This is textbook financial elder abuse disguised as a contract dispute. Elder abuse? I'm 58. You're a widower with adult children making financial demands under threat of legal action. The pattern of systematic financial requests followed by legal retaliation when support is withdrawn. That's elder abuse. She leaned forward. Tell me everything. Start from the beginning. So I did. The years of support, the wedding costs, the exclusion from the rehearsal dinner, the threat when I closed the accounts. She listened without interrupting, taking notes in precise handwriting. Do you have documentation? She asked when I finished. Everything? Bank statements, cancelled checks, text messages where she asked for money. I keep detailed records. She smiled for the first time since I'd walked in. Good, because we're not just going to defend this lawsuit, we're going to destroy it. She pulled out a yellow legal pad. Here's what's going to happen. They're claiming you made binding promises, but a promise to give a gift isn't legally enforceable unless it's in writing. And even if it were, you've already given them tens of thousands of dollars. Any reasonable person would say you've fulfilled any moral obligation. But they're claiming emotional distress. They're claiming that because they're desperate, Susan said. People who file suits like this are usually in financial trouble and see a parent as an easy target. They expect you to fold because you love your daughter and don't want the embarrassment of a public lawsuit. I'm not folding. I can see that. She made another note. We'll file a response denying all claims. Then we'll counterclaim for harassment and abuse of process. And if they really want to push this, we'll demand they repay every penny you've given them over the past 3 years as unjust enrichment. My head was spinning. Can we do that? If we can prove the money was given under duress or with false promises, absolutely. Did they ever promise you anything in return for your support? I thought about all those conversations. Michelle used to say things like, "When Brian's business takes off, we'll take care of you, Dad. You'll never have to worry about anything." Things like that. Susan's pen moved faster. Perfect. That's consideration. That potentially makes these loans, not gifts. She looked up at me. Mr. Henderson, I'm going to be direct with you. This is going to get ugly. Your daughter is going to say things about you in legal documents that will hurt. She may claim you're manipulating the situation, that you're bitter about the wedding arrangements. Are you prepared for that? I thought about the rehearsal dinner, about Aunt Patricia walking my daughter down the aisle, about the casual cruelty of just immediate family. Yes, I said. I'm prepared. Over the next week, Susan and I built our case like I used to plan construction projects, methodically, with attention to every detail. Every bank statement going back 3 years, every text message where Michelle asked for money, every email where I said yes, every withdrawal from the joint account that I'd never authorized. The paper trail was devastating. $12,000 condo down payment with Michelle's promise to pay you back when we get on our feet. $8,000 credit card bailout with tears and apologies. One $10,000 business investment with assurances about Brian's foolproof plan, and dozens of smaller amounts, always with some urgent excuse. Susan organized it all in a thick binder with tabs and highlights. If they push this to court, she said, we show the judge exactly what kind of people they are. But part of me still hoped it wouldn't come to that. Part of me believed Michelle would come to her senses, drop the lawsuit, apologize. That hope died the Tuesday before the court date. I was replacing a broken sprinkler head in the front yard when Michelle's silver Honda pulled up. She got out wearing sunglasses despite the overcast sky and walked toward me like she owned the sidewalk. We need to talk, she said. I stood up, brushing dirt from my knees. I have a lawyer now, Michelle. You should talk to her. I'm not here about the lawsuit. She crossed her arms. I'm here about the wedding. Brian and I have been talking. And we've decided maybe it's better if you don't come. The sprinkler head fell from my hand. Don't come to your wedding. It's going to be awkward now with everything that's happening. The lawsuit, you cutting us off, making this whole thing about money. We don't want that negative energy on our special day, making it about money. The irony was breathtaking. Michelle, you're the one suing me for $25,000. Because you promised, she snapped, her composure cracking. You've always promised to be there for me, and now when we actually need you, you're being selfish. I've given you $75,000 in 3 years, and we're grateful, she said, though her tone suggested otherwise. But that doesn't mean you get to control our lives. This is our wedding, our day, our decision. I looked at my daughter, really looked at her, and realized I was seeing a stranger, someone calculating and cold, Someone who could take $75,000 from her widowed father and then sue him for more when he finally said no. You know what, Michelle? You're right. It is your day. Enjoy it. She studied my face, maybe looking for the usual signs that I was about to cave, about to apologize and write another check. When she didn't find them, something shifted in her expression. Fine, she said. Don't expect to be part of our lives anymore then. Brian's family warned me about this. They said you'd try to manipulate me, use money to control me. I defended you, but they were right. She turned and walked back to her car without another word. 2 weeks later, we sat in a courtroom. Not the dramatic movie kind with soaring ceilings and dark wood. Just a plain civil courtroom with fluorescent lights and worn carpet. Michelle and Brian sat with their lawyer on one side. Susan and I sat on the other. Judge Margaret Osborne presided, a woman in her late 50s with reading glasses and the weary expression of someone who'd heard every excuse ever invented. Michelle's lawyer went first, young and overconfident, painting me as a callous father who'd abandoned his daughter. Michelle testified next, crying on cue about how I'd promised to take care of her and then cruelly cut her off. My father has always been my rock, she said, dabbing her eyes with a tissue. After Mom died, he promised I'd never have to worry, that he'd always be there for me. I planned my whole future based on that promise. Then it was our turn. Susan walked Judge Osborne through the documentation methodically. Bank statements, canceled checks, a detailed timeline of 3 years of systematic financial extraction. This is not a man who fails to support his daughter, Susan told the judge. This is a man who was systematically exploited until he finally said enough. When I testified, I told the judge about the rehearsal dinner, about being replaced by Aunt Patricia, about the threats when I closed the accounts. Your Honor, I said, I would have given my daughter anything. I did give her everything. But the moment I stopped, she sued me. That's not love, that's exploitation. Judge Osborne removed her glasses when we finished. Let me make sure I understand, she said, looking at Michelle's lawyer. Your clients received $45,000 for a wedding plus multiple other payments totaling $75,000 over 3 years. And now they're suing for an additional $25,000 because Mr. Henderson declined to fund their honeymoon. Your Honor, promises were made. Alleged promises, the judge interrupted. Verbal statements of support are not binding contracts, especially when the defendant has already provided substantial assistance, far exceeding any reasonable expectation. She looked at Michelle and Brian with unconcealed disgust. I see this pattern frequently in my courtroom. Adult children who view parental support as entitlement rather than gift. When that support is withdrawn, they retaliate through the legal system. The gavel came down hard. This court categorically denies the plaintiff's claim. Furthermore, I'm ordering the plaintiffs to pay Mr. Henderson's legal fees and referring this matter to Adult Protective Services for review as potential financial elder abuse. Michelle's face went white. Brian started to stand, but his lawyer grabbed his arm. In the hallway afterward, Susan shook my hand. You did it, Carl. We did it, I corrected. 6 months later, my life had changed completely. I sold the big house full of memories and moved to a smaller condo downtown with a mountain view. I joined a woodworking class at the community center, started volunteering at the VA hospital reading to veterans who'd lost their sight. I traveled too, nothing fancy but real trips. Drove up to Yellowstone, visited my old Army buddy in Montana. We drank beer and laughed about getting old, about second chances. One evening, a letter arrived. Simple envelope, handwriting I recognized. Dad, it began. Brian and I divorced last month. Turns out he was only interested in me as long as the money was flowing. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just want you to know I'm starting to understand what happened. I stole from you, not just money, but trust and respect. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I needed you to know that I see it now. What I did, what I lost. I'm sorry, Dad. Michelle. I read it twice, then put it in my desk drawer. Maybe someday I'll respond. Maybe not. That night, I stood on my balcony watching the sunset over the Rockies, the sky burning orange and pink. Colors Linda would have loved. My name is Carl Henderson. I'm 58 years old, and for the first time in years, my life belongs to me. I learned that love without boundaries isn't love at all. It's just enabling someone to destroy both of you. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give your children is teaching them that respect isn't bought with money, and that saying no is the beginning of real relationship.